I've been in conversations where somebody was trying to argue that 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4. Who in here is tempted to argue with math because you're afraid of charging what you need to charge to do the work that you need to do? I never owned the company I grew up in, but as an employee, thinking that I could never build a career as an employee in this industry, but it's just a job until I get my life figured out and get my real career. It is true, but it's not because of the industry, it's because of what we believe. It doesn't have to be true. Let's go, guys! Bring it in! Boy, does Josh know how to get a room going. Wow! Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, guys, it is awesome to be here with you. I speak a lot. Every time that I get up here, I reflect for a moment on just maybe there's something that I have to share today that will be 1/100th of what is in the slides, but it's something that you will take home and it changes the trajectory of your life. That has happened to me many times when I've gone through events. I could share some stories of one or two that will really stand out to me, but my goal is to be here and pour out some of my experience, but knowledge is just potential. There's nuts and bolts that I have to share with you, but it's at the end of the day, it's just nuts and bolts unless you do something with it. I want to share as much from a mindset perspective as I do from the nuts and bolts of how to do XYZ, which is why when I talked with one of the Baylor guys, I think it was Caleb, we're talking about what to bring to this group. I wanted to share from and how to grow perspective. I talk to hundreds of contractors all across North America in SynkedUP as they are onboarding, and so much of the time, the challenge they have is not knowing what to do, it's believing that they can. And so I want to kind of share just some observations that I have made over the years. I've been in conversations where somebody was trying to argue that 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4. Who in here is tempted to argue with math because you're afraid of charging what you need to charge to do the work that you need to do? I never owned the company I grew up in, but as an employee, thinking that I could never build a career as an employee in this industry, but it's just a job until I get my life figured out and get my real career. It is true, but it's not because of the industry, it's because of what we believe. It doesn't have to be true. So, with that, that's a little bit of my from the heart, off the script intro, and I will get into my slides. As an owner, the first bottleneck that we have to solve is what? Exactly. What I'm talking about is this is the entrepreneurial battle. This industry is mostly made up of owner-operators that love what they do, they love to run equipment, they love building amazing, beautiful things, but they're allergic to the office, the admin side of running the business. So the first thing we have to do is solve these bottlenecks. In my experience with SynkedUP, I see many people that are owner-operator and grow to between 750 to $1.5 million. Some of the very top ones might reach 2 million before they literally cannot fight another fire, cannot take another phone call, cannot deal with another customer issue, you're just tapped out. The good people in your organization cannot grow past you if you're completely just plugging the neck of that bottle. Nobody can grow around you. What do the good people that you had the good fortune of hiring do after a while? They get fed up and they leave. So your ability to get out of the way is the metric by which your team can grow up and blossom and take care of things and do certain tasks better than you even can. From a sales perspective, which this may still be the same person here, the owner and the sales, right? From the sales perspective, we have to stop guessing on your quotes. We have to get that information, that like years of experience, yeah, that'll take about 5 days out of your head and into something that's predictable and into a system or process. And the way to do that is to build a budget, because building a budget, ultimately so you can know your numbers, is putting your numbers in and getting your pricing back out. That's the beauty of it. Some people want to argue that 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4. Well, budgeting is essentially that. You put your numbers in, you get your pricing back out. I've had numerous conversations where people are like, I can never charge that. It tells them they have to charge 90 bucks an hour and my competition charges 45 or whatever. It is what it is. 2 + 2 equals 4. It's math. The only way to have an effect on that is either cut expenses or raise your prices to charge whatever your overhead burden is in your company. You have to develop a bit of the price is what it is mentality around what it is. And what the budget does is it shows you your pricing floor. Like, you cannot charge less than what your budget tells you can charge, but you can always charge more. The only thing that shows your ceiling is the market. So if my budget tells me I gotta charge $82.36, that's my floor. I cannot charge a penny less than that. But I can charge 90, I can charge 100. If I'm still selling the jobs, that's permission to continue selling. The most powerful tool I've encountered for folks doing sales is when they know exactly what their break even is on every single job. I was helping a guy build a budget. He had sold a little patio for like 12 grand. We plugged in all his labor materials for that patio into his new estimating system after he had built his budget, based on his budget, and it came out for like 16.5. And that was a little bit what I was alluding to when he said he was arguing with it, like, I'll never never get that in my market. I can't sell it for that. What is that, a Henry Ford quote? If you believe you can or you can't, you're right. It's true in sales. Ultimately, what happened for him, like it took him a while. He finally came around to it and realized what was happening. But the most powerful thing that I've seen happen that help people battling that mindset is when they know to a penny what their break even is on a job. When your bid comes in at 67, the client wants to give you 60, you'd be like, yeah, sure, Mrs. Jones. I respect the fact that you have a budget of 60. However, what would you like to cut? I could take out the lighting. I could use a cheaper product. I could simplify the design. We could let you do the landscaping yourself. What would you like to do? Sometimes they legitimately do have a budget of 60 and they'll say, I'll do the landscaping myself. Other times you'll find out that they were really just playing with you and they're like, yeah, just do the whole thing. The power though that gives you that confidence is in knowing your break even. Leading to filtering and qualifying your leads. The best thing you can do is not go on a consult that's never gonna buy from you anyway. It'd be far better to just eat dinner with your family than waste 3 hours on a consult that they have this Instagram picture. It's like, yeah, we want this, and they have a $20,000 budget. It'd be far better to find out first, before you even go, what their budget is. Some of my favorite ways to filter leads, I'm not saying you have to do any one of these in any particular order, but some of the most common tools for filtering leads is charging a consultation fee. I don't care if it's $10. It's the fact that a transaction is taking place. You're not out there to make money on your consultation fee, you're out there to get a down payment. The second is requiring the customer to fill out a project plan, and I'll show you on the next slide what I mean. And finally, they select from your availability, not you select from their availability. Meaning I'm available Tuesdays and Thursdays from noon to 5. I work 40 hours, can you do it at 7? No, I can't. If you're serious, you will take off work for me to come out there and show you how you can invest in making your backyard dreams come true. You are the expert, you are the designer, you are the master of your craft. Set yourself up to also be that and operate by that and believe that in the way you relate with your client. So, to the crew leaders now, how many crew leaders are in the room? Or crew members? Remember, this was me. I never owned Tuxedo Landscaping. I was always just an employee, but gotta get your mindset right. What I mean is Greg Wittstock's advice to me as an employee, not what can I get, but what can I do to provide value. Ask, how can I make the company more money? You'd be surprised what kind of opportunities open up to you when this is your mindset and your approach to everything you do. This is what makes you more valuable, and ultimately is what connects the dots to you going from a job to a career in this industry. You need to think like an owner. 10 years ago when this was me, I was like, I didn't know what thinking like an owner meant. I was just an employee. A good way to think about it is I'm just working to make the owner's life easier. I'm working to take things off of their plate. As employees, you hate being babysat, at least I know I did, as much as the owners in this room hate babysitting, but it's a two-way street. If you're an owner and all the information's in your head, you feel like you're having to babysit because everybody's calling you for answers to information and questions. But if you're an employee, I don't have a choice if I don't have the information. It's a two-way street, both with the owners and the leaders putting the systems in place so that they can work autonomously and work efficiently without your input, and the crews need to take that up. Climb that rope when they have that information. Don't blow up your boss's phone with random avoidable questions. If you can possibly solve the problem on your own, problem solve. I like the 1-3-1 framework. As an employee, before you're allowed to go to your superior or your manager or whatever with a problem, you have to come up with 3 potential solutions. 1 problem, 3 solutions, and 1 recommended solution. 1-3-1. Be mentally prepped for your jobs. Take ownership of making sure you have what you need to work efficiently. Make sure that you have the tool that you need, the amount of manpower you need. Just double check and make sure the materials are showing up on time when you need them. Give that client a 5-star experience. As a crew member, you have more time with that client than almost anyone else in your company. The likelihood of creating an experience that would motivate a client to go give you a 5-star review lies heavily on the crew's shoulders. If you're professional, you communicate well, you bring the client along, you listen to their questions and their concerns. This is how, as the crew leader, you have an excellent impact on this. Obviously, I'm here pushing, growing a business, selling a software to people like you. That's a no-brainer. A lot of people look at me as just another sales guy, but I don't care if you do it on a napkin. Just do it. My knowledge or my experiences or what I can help you with, that's not my product. My product is just to make it easier and more automated. I will teach you all day long how to do it manually. There's free tools on our website and how you can do it manually. Download free spreadsheets on our website on how to do this manually. You don't have to buy my product. I'm just asking you, please do it. Or obviously you can skip to the front of the line, automate this with SynkedUP. Thank you very much. I hope it was worth something. Appreciate it.